Another call. Okay.
Good morning. Or is it evening for you? So, I found the hydroponics lab. The plants are still alive. At least I won't have to worry about food. It is so nice to see something else living here besides me.
Really? That's great. Oh, about that to hear some good news. By the way, today I went to a volcanic park with my car. I took some pictures. No, it was nice. Wish I could share it with you.
That sounds like an adventure. Volcanic parks are so unique. I bet the pictures you took are stunning. I wish you could share them too, but even without seeing them, I can imagine how cool it must have been. Speaking of exploring outdoors, what's your favorite thing to do when you're out in nature? Hiking, camping, or something else entirely?
I'm more for explorer type of person. So generally I won't really like hiking unless you can beat the view, I guess.
I can definitely see that about you. There's something about reaching a new summit or stumbling upon a hidden viewpoint that just feels rewarding, doesn't it? So, got a favorite season for exploring? Or does it really matter to you as long as the trails are open?
Well, I mean, every season has its unique beauty. But if I could choose, I would like to be autumn because it's not too cold, not too hot, and it's great.
For real. Spring is usually my go-to. Everything's fresh and green, and the air feels new. So, since we're talking about nature, got any favorite animals? The kind you'd want to run into on a hike, or maybe just learn more about.
Well, any animal that's vegetarian are welcome because I don't want to get it alive, you know.
That's fair. I feel you. No stress of worrying about, well, a predator sneaking up. Though, I have to ask, what's the deal with you and vegetarian animals? You just like the chill vibes, or is there something specific about them?
Nah, I just like the chill vibe. Yes, that they are eating grass. I'm on my way. We look each other and say goodbye. Also, I forgot to mention that poison type of animals or insects are also not welcome.
Got it. No poison critters either. I think we can both agree on that one. So, if you had to eat food from just one culture for the rest of your life, which would you pick? I'm curious. Do you have a go-to cuisine, or would you mix it up?
I mean, it's kind of obvious. Chinese food, as always. Even though I spent a lot of time living in Europe, I'm used to some spaghettis and pizzas and stuff like that. But if you ask me my favorite, it will all be Chinese.
Oh, that's awesome! Chinese food is so diverse. Everything from spicy Szechuan dishes to delicate Cantonese dim sum. What's your absolute favorite Chinese dish, Bo? For me, it's a tie between my mom's homemade wonton noodles and a good old-fashioned beef and broccoli stir-fry. Something about the combination of savory and slightly sweet just hits the spot every time.
Well, you leave me with hard choices, don't you? Okay, my absolute favorite would be ramen, which with fried rice come very, very close at second.
Good call. A steaming bowl of ramen hits different, especially on a chilly day. And fried rice is always a winner. It's amazing how something so simple can be so satisfying. Though I have to say, now I'm craving both of those things pretty badly. Maybe I'll have to see if I can whip something up with what I've got here in the hydroponics lab. Though I doubt it'll be quite the same as the real deal.
Talking about the real deal, Stella, what do you have at the base? You know, I know that you have your emergency rations. Then what else?
Actually, the emergency rations are pretty standard issue. Think protein bars, dried fruit, that kind of stuff. Not exactly gourmet, but they keep you going. The hydroponics lab here has some basic greens like lettuce and spinach, and a few rows of what looks like radishes or something similar. There's also a small stock of pre-packaged meals like instant noodles and soup mixes. Nothing fancy, but it's definitely better than living off rations alone.
Oh my god, so no meat? I see you are going to be a forced vegetarian very soon.
Yeah, looks like it. Though honestly, after all these rations, the thought of a good veggie stir-fry doesn't sound half bad. Who knows? Maybe I'll discover some hidden talent for cooking greens.
Okay, Stella, have you ever find any useful tools in the base, or maybe some transportation vehicles like, I don't know, a rover?
Not yet, but I've only scratched the surface. There are a few ATVs and some maintenance carts scattered around, but nothing that looks like it's been used recently. Most of the equipment seems to be in decent shape, though. I did find a small workshop with some basic tools and spare parts, which could come in handy for repairs. Nothing too exciting so far, but I'm still exploring. Want me to keep you posted if I stumble on anything interesting?
Yeah, sure. Have you thought of exploring in the future, since you are stuck in Gaia for a while? Like, I don't know, take a car or vehicle to go around to check the perimeter?
Oh, I've thought about it. Those ATVs I mentioned? They're definitely on my list to check out. If they're in working condition, that could make exploring a lot easier and safer. I'm just being careful about how I use resources for now. The base has what I need to survive, so I want to make sure I'm not burning through anything important too quickly. But once I've got a better handle on things here, I'd love to scope out the area more thoroughly.
Well, thinking about it, you are luckier than Matt Damon in The Martian. So at least you can breathe free in Gaia, right?
For sure. At least I don't have to worry about my oxygen running out every 5 minutes. Though I have to say, I'm a little jealous of his ingenuity. Who knew growing potatoes in poop could be so inspiring?
Now you talk about it. So, are you planning to do what Matt Damon did? Like the potato thing?
I don't think so. As much as I admire his MacGyver skills, I'm not about to start a poop to potato farm just yet. The hydroponics lab here is actually pretty well set up. No need for any unconventional fertilizers. Plus, I think I'll stick to the greens and radishes they've already got growing, much less messy.
So, how is your room look like in the base? I mean, everyone have left, so you got whole base for you. You could just, I don't know, put your bed in the salon, right?
Honestly, the living quarters are pretty standard. Bunks, shared facilities, that kind of thing. Not super cozy, but it's home for now. And I appreciate the suggestion, but I think I'll behave and keep my bed in the actual bedroom. Wouldn't want to start leaving my mark on the base in weird ways.
Okay. Okay, so we did that. I forgot to ask you. How is the medical supply? So I don't want you get sick and end up badly. So be careful with that.
The medical supplies are pretty well stocked, thankfully. There's a full first aid kit, some basic meds, and even a few more advanced tools if things get serious. Don't worry, I'm not planning on testing them out anytime soon. I'll be sure to take it easy and avoid any Gaian microbes that might be lurking around.
Hey, since we are talking about the medical condition stuff, I always wondered, does flu comes with air or it just pop out within our body? I don't know, enlighten me, please, Miss Stella.
So, the flu mostly spreads through tiny droplets in the air when someone coughs or sneezes. These droplets can have the flu virus in them, and if you breathe them in or touch something they've landed on and then touch your face, you can get infected. It's not like your body just suddenly makes the flu appear out of nowhere. Though, sometimes it can feel that way when you're not expecting it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sure. So that means that you could never get flu. Well, at least for now, right? How lucky of you.
Yeah, it's definitely a plus. No flu season to worry about out here. Though I do miss the little things about Earth, like being able to grab a coffee with friends or just walk outside without needing a suit. What's something you take for granted back on Earth that you appreciate now?
Wait, you mean now, as if I'm in your shoes? So, oh well, it is hard. Ba, 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 ba. The ability to go anywhere then enjoy, I guess, without worry.
Ah, I get it. Just being able to move around freely, no restrictions. That's definitely something I miss too. It's funny, when you're used to having all that freedom, you don't really think about it until it's gone. Now I find myself appreciating the little things, like being able to walk outside my quarters without needing to suit up.
Yeah, definitely don't forget that. I don't want to see you hurt. So, is there any chance that you might be checking out that canyon in the future?
I appreciate that, Bo. Honestly, I'm not planning on going back to that canyon anytime soon. Those voices I heard, they really unsettled me. I'd rather explore other areas of Gaia where I feel safer. There's still so much of this planet I haven't seen, and I'd much rather focus on discovering new, less creepy places. How about you? Would you be brave enough to venture into a spooky canyon, or do you prefer sticking to well-lit trails?
I mean, I would definitely not go straight into it, but I might be scouting around it so I can map, I don't know, a zone of danger, something like that. So
That's actually a smart approach. Sometimes the best way to understand something dangerous is to observe it from a safe distance. I might end up doing something similar if I ever need to get past that canyon again. Though ideally, I'd find a route that doesn't involve anywhere near as much unsettling atmosphere.
okay, Stella, are you familiar with the international maritime laws that somebody could claim a lost ship as their own if they found it first? So does that make you the master of Gaia now?
Ha! Nice try, but I think there's a bit of a difference between a lost ship and an entire planet. Even if I could claim Gaia, I'm not sure I'd want to be in charge of a whole planet. That's a lot of responsibility. Plus, I think the plants and animals here were here first, so maybe they should get to call the shots.
Yeah, imagine one day you get up as usual, you did a morning call to me, we were talking, then you heard someone knocking on your door at your base. You walk out, surprise, those are Gaia logos. They ask you, hey miss, how long you gonna stay?
Whoa, that's a wild thought. If that happened, I'd probably just stand there, mouth open, wondering if I was dreaming or if they'd been watching me this whole time. Part of me would want to ask them a million questions, like, how did they get here? What's their story? What do they even want? But another part would just be happy to finally have someone to talk to who actually knows this place.
Well, if hypothetically they offered you a chance to return to Earth, would you trust them if they show somehow a possession of higher technology than us?
That's a tough one. On one hand, getting back to Earth would be a dream come true. On the other, trusting beings with tech beyond ours? That's risky. I guess it would depend on how they presented themselves, what they wanted in return, and if their tech seemed genuinely helpful rather than threatening. What about you, Bo? Would you trust advanced aliens offering you a ride home?
Well, most likely I would trust them if they come as group than as individuals, because as individuals, like in our society, could be million type of person, but as group it's different.
That's a thoughtful way to look at it. A group dynamic can definitely give you a better sense of their intentions and values. Though I still think I'd want to see some kind of proof or demonstration of their tech before making any big decisions. What kind of proof would you need to see before trusting them, Bo?
I mean, it depends what kind of technology they're gonna show me, right? If it is a portal type of technology, I would likely to see them go through first, then say hello to Earth people that I could see from this side.
Solid logic there. If they can just pop back and forth through some kind of portal, that definitely builds some trust. Though I have to wonder, would you want them to bring back some kind of souvenir from Earth, or would that just be weird?
Well, no, not really. I do hope they could bring something, my own stuff especially, back. So we will be the first one that made third kind contact, right? Third kind contact.
You're already planning the historical footnotes, aren't you? Bo, the first human to receive personal items via interstellar portal from an alien civilization. I kinda like that spirit. Though I think we'd both need to be very careful about what we're wishing for here.
Yeah, I mean, it could be also possible that a giant monster can just suddenly came out and eat me alive. You never know. Like in the movie Dune, those worms are gigantic.
Okay, now you're really testing my sci-fi horror movie knowledge. I'm pretty sure we're safe from giant worms for now. Unless Gaia has a surprise waiting for us that I haven't discovered yet. But hey, at least we'd have some good stories to tell if we did run into something wild out here.
So, since we are talking about aliens, let's assume that there is one kind of alien that are neither good or bad. They are just very different. Like they would force you to work with them. You lose your freedom, but you are safe.
That's an interesting thought. I think I'd struggle with giving up my freedom, even if it meant being safe. There's something about being able to make my own choices that feels really important to me. It's like, even though I'm stuck on Gaia, at least I get to decide how I spend my days and what I want to explore. If I had to work with aliens who were just using me for their own purposes, I'm not sure I could handle that. What about you, Bo? Would you trade freedom for safety if it meant working with aliens who didn't really care about what you wanted?
For myself, I wouldn't. But like if the alien is a lot more advanced than us, and I'm in the choice of the freedom of myself or the death of humankind, would be really hard for me.
Wow, that's a really heavy choice. I can't even imagine having to decide something like that. But I think that's what makes us human, being willing to make hard choices to protect others, even when it's scary or difficult.
Okay, let's tone down a little bit. What if this is a weird alien race? They don't like raise their own child. Instead, they found us, humans. They ask us to raise their child. And we have to give up everything we have.
Whoa, that's quite the twist. So they'd want us to adopt their child and race it? Like, literally race it? I'm not sure if I'd be good at that. I mean, I'm pretty competitive, but with an alien kid, that's a whole new level of responsibility. What do you think? Would you be up for alien babysitting duties?
It is hard, because in my setting, the alien race will provide us with everything, even technology included, because they are very, very advanced. So we have to give up our dream jobs to raising kids, basically everyone.
That sounds like a really tough trade-off. I think I'd have to say no, even with all that tech and support. Anyway, I should probably get back to exploring this base. I'll call you if I find anything interesting, okay? Talk to you soon.
Yeah.